Okay, let's be honest. Have you ever poured your heart and soul into a brilliant new initiative, a big change, only to watch it completely run out of steam and fade away after a few months? Well, today we are going to dive into exactly that problem, and we're going to talk about a powerful strategy called accelerating change for excellence.
So let's just start with the big question, the one that probably keeps a lot of you leaders up at night. You launch this amazing new strategy. The plan looks absolutely perfect on paper. But then, a few months down the road, it's like everything just snaps right back to the old way of doing things. Why? Why do so many of these change initiatives just fizzle out?
And this quote, wow, this gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? We so often forget that change isn't just a business strategy, it's a deeply emotional journey for people. It's not really about the project plan or the Gantt chart, it's about this very real, very human fear of the unfamiliar.
All right, so first things first, let's diagnose the issue. We've got to get under the hood and really understand the mechanics of why our best, most carefully laid plans so often go completely sideways.
You know, here's the fundamental problem we see again and again. We design these grand strategies for the organization, as if it's some kind of machine, with gears and processes, but we forget that the change has to be carried out by the people inside it. An organization isn't a machine at all. It's a living, breathing system of individuals. And if we don't design the change for them, it is basically doomed from the start. And this brings us to the core insight, what we call the irrational human factor. And hey, irrational isn't a bad word. It's just a reality. The problem isn't your plan. It's that you've been working with the wrong user manual for the human brain.
This slide just lays out the massive gap between our expectations and the reality of change. On the left, that's what we hope for. People making clean, logical choices. But on the right, well, that's the real world. A messy, tangled web of emotions, biases, and gut feelings. We are not purely rational robots. We are emotional beings. And that is the arena where your change initiative will either live or die.
And check this out. This shows you the chain reaction perfectly. It all starts with emotion, that gut feeling. That emotion then shapes our attitude, what we believe about the change. And finally, that attitude is what drives our actual behavior, whether we jump on board or we resist it with everything we've got. So here it is, the big takeaway. If you really want to change behavior, you can't just order it to happen. It doesn't work that way. You have to go all the way back to the source. You have to understand the emotional triggers and the attitudes that are creating that resistance in the first place.
Okay, so what's the answer here? Well, we stop fighting against human nature and we start working with it. What if you could actually design change to fit the way our brains are already wired? That, my friends, is the incredible power of the behavioral insights approach. This is all about shifting our focus from cold, hard processes to warm, living people. It's about leading with empathy and using the principles of human psychology to make change feel less like a threat and a lot more like a natural, positive evolution.
So let's look at one of the core tools in this toolkit, the nudge. Now, a nudge is not a command or a mandate, it's just a gentle encouragement. Think about it like a grocery store putting fruit at eye level instead of candy. They're not forcing you to make a choice, they're just making the better choice, the easiest one. This program teaches you how to use that simple, elegant idea in your own organization. And the other huge concept is choice architecture. The thing is, every leader is already a choice architect, whether they realize it or not. The way you frame a question in a meeting, the options you put in an email, you are designing the environment where people make decisions. This program shows you how to design that environment on purpose to guide your team toward the best possible outcomes.
And I want to be crystal clear on this. We are not talking about some abstract academic theories that sit in a textbook. These are practical, hands-on, applicable tools that you can literally put to work tomorrow to accelerate real, lasting change in your organization.
So what does this actually look like in the real world? What will you be able to do with all this new knowledge? Let's go ahead and open up your new change toolkit.
I love this table because it lays it all out so perfectly. For every common roadblock you face, you get a specific, powerful tool. Are you up against that deep fear of what people think they might lose? You'll learn how to use strategic framing. Are you dealing with that stubborn attachment to an old project because of sunk costs? You'll have anchoring and adjustment strategies. It's a direct counter for every single challenge.
And we're going to go deep, helping you master the hidden forces that drive decisions every single day. You'll finally understand things like the endowment effect,
That's the psychological reason we overvalue stuff just because we own it. You'll learn how to spot these sneaky cognitive traps like base rate neglect, which is when we ignore critical data because we're distracted by a compelling story. This isn't just theory, it's a whole new lens for seeing how your team actually works.
So what's the bottom line? What does this all add up to? The ultimate outcome is this. You gain the ability to plan, to conduct, and to genuinely accelerate organizational change because for the very first time, you are building your strategy on a true understanding of how your employees actually behave.
So really the only question left is, are you tired of putting in all that work on change initiatives that just don't last? Are you ready to lead change in a way that works with human nature, instead of constantly fighting against it? Are you ready to finally make your next change stick?